Hey guys, we're out here today. I want to tell you some tips for summertime fishing. For me, it's really a three-part process, and I rely on my electronics most exclusively and more than any other time of the year in the summertime. The first thing I do is usually I choose what section of the lake I want to fish, and then I get out over deep water, say the creek channel or something like that, and what I want to find is what level I'm seeing most of the bait fish at. So we've been idling around in the creek channel out here on this lake for a few minutes, and most everything we're seeing is basically in, say, 6 to 15 feet of water. You know, there's some shad and all these schools of shad right here. You know, that gives me a very good indicator of where I need to start. That's my first step. Once I've kind of figured out, you know, say 10 feet plus or minus 3 or 4 feet, then I have a starting point of how deep I want to look on structure. So, you know, we've already determined the level of the shad in this lake. What I'm going to do then is really start relying on my maps. I'm using Lake Master maps here, and the feature that I'm going to utilize here is when I go into menu, I'm going to go over to Humminbird chart. So we said the shad are at 10 feet. I'm going to set my depth highlight range to 10 feet and give it plus or minus, you know, 3 or 4 feet on your range. So that's going to coincide with the level of the bait fish. Now, when I look at my map chip, all of the green highlights are going to be at that level. That's where I'm most confident that I'm going to find active bass. At that point, once I've determined the bait fish and I've set my map to kind of mark those types of structures in that depth, then what I'm going to do is just start looking for something different. And you know, when I look at this picture right here, some of the things that strike out to me are like this point over here. You know, it's got a very sharp drop. That's something I can key in on. It won't take me a long time to fish that spot. I'll go in there and I'll fish that corner and maybe fish down to here. It won't take very long to fish that. You know, this long tapering hook point right here, it comes out and has a high spot on the end. It's in that 10-foot range. So those are the type of things that I look for, but it all starts with determining the depth of the bass or depth of the shad, marking your structure in that depth range, and then it's just a matter of, you know, getting in there with your side imaging and your down imaging and looking to see if it has bass. I promise you, on just about any lake in the summertime where the fish move offshore, start utilizing those three things and you're going to find bass, and you're going to find them a lot quicker.